Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I just want to go over the bell ringer with you today. Go over the assignment from yesterday, the political cartoon. And I also want to go over the assignment for tonight, which is on Yosemite National Park. It's just a quick story. You'll just have to read a little bit out of the online textbook, which I have attached to the assignment. And I want to go over the ideal UDAHS muckraker activity. So you're going to act like a muckraker. You're going to find something, maybe it's a policy, maybe it's infrastructure with the school that we can work on, that we can maybe improve for all students here at UDAHS. So I'll go over that here soon, and I'll have that ready to go for you guys. I'm thinking Monday we present those presentations. So you'll work with someone. I'll talk about that here soon. All right, real quick, bell ringer for today. Describe Roosevelt's 3 C's to his square deal. Essentially, what did Roosevelt's square deal try to accomplish? So please pause the video and write down your response, and I'm going to go over it. All right, so Roosevelt's square deal, essentially, it was to give opportunity to all people, to make sure that everybody had an equal hand, and that the cards, like I described with his quote yesterday, and when he's dealing out cards to people, like he's working at a let's say a casino or something like that, that he's not skewing it, right? He's not corrupted as he's handing these cards out. Everybody gets a fair hand. And if so happens you have a better hand than someone else, it is what it is, right? You have to work with that hand, right? You obviously have to try to improve your hand and try to advance. Let's say you're playing in a card game. I like how he resembles his square deal to playing cards. I think that makes sense for a lot of people, and everybody can kind of relate to, playing cards. So with that being said, his square deal tried to create opportunities for all people and making sure that this corruption in society would end, right? So for many, many years, business owners, large business owners, these industrial giants, controlled society, paid off politicians, public officials, and that kind of halted when a progressive president like Teddy Roosevelt stepped up to the plate. He made sure that the middle class, the people in the middle class had the ability to rise up those economic social ranks and to give a higher standing of living to these people by setting a minimum wage, putting regulations on these monopolies and in the workplace to protect workers, giving them benefits, giving them time off, giving them some sort of retirement, right? And Teddy Roosevelt really was doing the best he could to try to provide for the American people, the whole society. And that's why they call him the Robin Hood president. He wants to try to limit those big business owners, okay, those industrial titans at the time, and make sure that society for the common people, the working class, the middle class, it was, obviously a higher standard of living for these people. All right, so real quick, the 3 C's to his square deal. Make sure you guys remember this. The number 1 C, one of them, okay, is control corporations. We know that Teddy Roosevelt is one of the largest trust busters, right? And that kind of resembles with that political cartoon activity he had last night. Okay, he's doing his best to put regulations out to have more opportunities for these smaller private industries, these smaller restaurants, let's say. I know I gave that example yesterday with Pizza Hut and how that might take away some of the unique taste and experiences we have with these local pizza shop restaurants. So controlling corporations, so setting a minimum wage, really providing safety protocols and procedures in the industries, in the factories, in these areas, in these urban areas. Okay, so number one, control corporations. Okay, trying to trust bust these monopolies, trying to break them apart and giving more opportunities to smaller businesses. Another one, consumer protection, right? We already talked about the jungle and how Upton Sinclair was bringing the attention to many Americans, many people all throughout American society about the harsh conditions in the meat packing industry and the unsanitary conditions. I know I mentioned that quite a bit. I don't want to make you sick for today, so I don't want to get into that too in detail. But Roosevelt thought it was essential that Americans knew what they're consuming, what products, what ingredients, maybe an expiration date, how much of a product you should consume. right? And that's where we see the labels placed on many of these goods, okay, many of these products, restaurants, grocery stores, right? And try to protect the consumer, try to protect the person that is going to eat these items or consume these items. Prescription drugs, same thing. Expiration date, the amount of, let's say, a drug that you should intake for safe usage. And from that came the FDA, right? The Food and Drug Administration. So that government agency is created to try to inspect these restaurants, these grocery stores, in order to try to protect their consumers, protect the people of what they're eating, and really knowing exactly what's inside each product. All right, and then the last one, conservation. Okay, the last C, conservation. So Teddy Roosevelt put a lot of time into try to preserving America's natural beauty, making sure that it was protected and not taken away from the vast industrialization that was occurring all throughout the United States. As the US was expanding out into the frontier, Teddy Roosevelt thought it was vital that we protect and preserve these places in the US that have natural beauty, like Yosemite, okay, like Yellowstone National Park, like Valley Forge, where we can learn from our past and see exactly what America's natural beauty has to offer. Okay, we just can't get rid of these beautiful areas and locations in the United States. This should be preserved for people, generations. Okay, moving forward, that they can see what America really has to offer with its environment. All right, so 3 C's, square deal. Make sure you guys remember that. Very, very important as we're moving up into the United States becoming a world power. So real quick, I want to go over the assignment from yesterday, the political cartoon. Okay, get used to these. You're going to see a lot of them throughout the class. All right, so we know Teddy Roosevelt with controlling corporations. The one part of his square deal. He wanted to make sure that he could put the grips, he could tighten it down on these monopolies and these trusts. So a trust is another name for monopoly. These business owners obviously are fat, they're gorged with a lot of the money that they're raking in. And again, Teddy Roosevelt's known as this Robin Hood president. Okay, he wanted to make sure that he could strict and he could tighten down on these monopolies, these trusts, to break them apart and give a little bit more wealth to the working class citizens. Okay, to raise the standard of living for these individuals that are putting in the work, putting in the time, as these business owners are just collecting it all. All right, as you can see, Teddy Roosevelt in the back in his Rough Rider uniform. We know he's president. Okay, at this time, at this moment, we'll backtrack next chapter to talk about his Rough Rider days, right, as America's rising into a world power. All right, this man worked along with Teddy Roosevelt. His name was Caillou, and he was a part of this controlling corporations and putting regulations on exactly how far and large these corporations can grow. And still to this day, with Amazon becoming a huge, huge business, who knows? You might see a lot of regulations placed on these businesses to give more opportunity and to not be so competitive in the workplace to these smaller businesses that maybe can't compete with Amazon or even Walmart, right? Okay. So take note of that, and it's something that we should really know. So that is a political cartoon from yesterday. I'll have those grades in as soon as I can. All right. So for the assignment today, all you have to do is work on really this assignment, Yosemite. It's chapter 18, page 560 to 561. And I attached the PDF to the assignment, so you can click right on chapter 18. I'll bring up the PDF. Or if you really want to, you can go right to my pages and you can click on chapter 1, Progressive Era, Gilded Age, and you can see the chapters for the textbook right there. But please answer these questions after you have read the assignment. Okay, after you've read the assignment. So here it is, the reading. Like I said, you'll see that in assignment, or if you want to, you can go to the pages, Progressive Era, Gilded Age, and you can see the chapter 18 right there. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Okay, answer these questions, turn them in. Yosemite, conservation, right? Another 3 C's. All right, last one here. This is the ideal UDAHS. I think it's important. We talked about muckrakers. We talked about how these journalists, these reporters were bringing to the attention of what was going on in the United States, okay, at the time of at the time of the Gilded Age. So with that being said, I want you guys to obviously read over this. Okay, this is the policies that maybe you have to change. So you are selected as a committee to make improvements to the high school. You are to investigate as many aspects of the high school as you can to make improvements with a minimum cost to taxpayers. Your investigation is to include, but not limited to, the following areas: discipline, building structure, lunch policy, course availability, core curriculum, school safety and security, including personal property, scheduling and drop add policy, extracurricular activities, policies affecting students, such as eligibility, tardy, past privileges, food and beverage, clothing, driving privileges. Everybody really hits on that year in and year out. Mentoring, tutoring, and counseling. So you have to identify 3 policies that you feel you need to change. So usually I have students go around taking pictures of, let's say, the football field. Hey, we want to add turf field. This would be nice for the football team, or putting a track around a rubber track around the football field. Okay, many people do a lot of sports activities, improving the gym, you name it, the weight room. A lot of people talk about lunch choice items. So maybe we can bring in Pizza Delight. Maybe we can bring in JoJo's or Schiano's to provide food for our students here in the cafeteria. Subway options, who knows, right? A lot of students do the parking pass. Why? Because it's pretty pricey. And I'd like you guys to pick 3 policies that maybe we can improve at UDAHS. Okay, so you're going to be like a muckraker. I want you guys to, you can work with a partner if you like, but I want you to create a presentation. And Monday, we'll have these presentations in class. Okay, Tuesday, I'm thinking a review for the test on Wednesday. So ideal UDHS. You can work with a partner, like I said. I'd like you guys to create a presentation. You can use PowerPoint, Google Slides, Prezi, whatever you want, to try to come up with ideas of how we can improve the high school. I hope that's clear. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. And Monday, we will have these presentations. So make sure you guys check that out. All right, guys, that's really all I have for today. Friday, you will not see an assignment. Friday, you will not see a video. I want you guys to work on this activity, because Monday are presentations. All right, see you guys. Take care. Have a good one. Can't wait to see you Monday.